Christian Romero looks increasingly likely to leave Tottenham this summer, with Inter Milan continuing to make significant progress in negotiations over a deal for the Argentine defender. James Maddison is expected to be named as Tottenham Hotspur's new captain, with widespread reports claiming Roberto De Zerbi has selected the England international to lead his side into the 2026-27 season. And we take a look at why Victor Osimhen would be a perfect signing for Roberto De Zerbi in spearheading his new look attack. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And please make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live or upload a video to the channel. And one final request, if you do get a spare moment, please do nominate and vote for us at the 2026 Football Content Awards. All of the details are below. Your support, as always, is really appreciated. Okay, let's get into it. Christian Romero appears to be edging ever closer to the Tottenham exit door, with Inter Milan making significant progress in negotiations, and transfer expert Fabrizio Romero indicating that the move is now entering its decisive stages. The Serie A giants are accelerating their efforts to complete a deal for the Argentine international, with Romero revealing that talks between the two clubs have advanced considerably. Inter are determined to finalise the transfer quickly as they look to strengthen their defence before the new season gets underway. The report claims that Inter have made Romero one of their priority targets after identifying the Tottenham captain as the ideal leader for their back line. Discussions over the structure of a deal are said to be progressing well, with optimism growing in Italy that an agreement can be reached in the coming days. Romero has reportedly made it clear that he is open to leaving North London after a disappointing campaign for Spurs. Despite signing a new contract less than a year ago, the World Cup winner is understood to be keen on returning to Serie A, where he previously enjoyed successful spells with Genoa and Atalanta before joining Spurs. Football 365 adds that Tottenham have gradually softened their stance over a sale. While the club were initially reluctant to lose one of their most influential players, they are now prepared to negotiate if Inter meet their valuation. Fabrizio Romero's latest update suggests that the transfer is now practically done from Inter's perspective, although the final deals of the agreement still need to be completed. The potential departure would mark the end of an eventful spell for Romero at Tottenham. Since arriving from Atalanta in 2021, the centre-back has established himself as one of the Premier League's standout defenders, helping Spurs win the Europa League before later being appointed club captain. However, speculation surrounding his future has intensified throughout the summer, with Inter consistently emerging as the strongest contenders for his signature. Multiple reports suggest James Maddison is set to be appointed Tottenham Hotspur's new club captain, with head coach Roberto De Zerbi choosing the England international to lead his new look side ahead of the 2026-27 campaign. De Zerbi has been impressed by Maddison's leadership qualities both on and off the pitch since taking charge in North London. Despite spending much of last season sidelined with a serious ACL injury, the midfielder remained a key figure within the dressing room, regularly supporting teammates and maintaining a strong presence around the squad. The Italian coach is believed to see these qualities as essential as Tottenham begin a new era under his management. With Christian Romero now widely expected to complete a move to Inter Milan, Maddison is viewed as a standout candidate to replace him because of his experience, personality and influence within the squad. The 29-year-old has already served as one of Tottenham's leadership figures since arriving from Leicester City and was previously part of the club's captaincy group. His ability to organise teammates, communicate on the pitch and set standards in training reportedly convinced De Zerbi that he is the right man for the role. Reports also note that Maddison's recovery from the knee injury that ruled him out for much of last season has gone well. After months of rehabilitation, he has returned to full training and has spoken enthusiastically about working under De Zerbi, describing the Italian's attacking philosophy as perfectly suited to his style of play. The midfielder believes Tottenham are entering an exciting new chapter and is determined to help the club enjoy a far more successful campaign after the struggles of last season. If confirmed, Maddison's appointment would represent one of De Zerbi's first major leadership decisions at Tottenham. The new captain will be tasked with leading Spurs back towards the top end of the Premier League, while helping to guide a squad undergoing significant change during the summer transfer window. And a really interesting piece on Flash Scores indicates how exciting a prospect Victor Osimhen could be should Spurs progress with his transfer. Tottenham's interest would suggest that De Zerbi either doesn't have Richarlison or Solanke in his plans, or at best, one or the other would be a backup striker to the Nigerian, with other players moved on before the end of the transfer window. Since signing for the Turkish Super League side, Osimhen has plundered an astonishing 59 goals in 74 games in all competitions, while also assisting 14 more. 73 goal contributions in 74 matches really is an outstanding return, and at 27 years of age, Osimhen could now be considered in the prime of his career. 13 of those goals have been scored with his head, indicating an all-round striking prowess, and given he's hit the woodwork 6 times, he could have conceivably had 65 goals in 74 games had Lady Luck been on his side. That's an elite level offering in anyone's book. It's also worth considering how rapid he is. During his time with Galatasaray, Osimhen has made 29 fast breaks, and with De Zerbi liking to play more vertically and getting the ball into the front men as quickly as possible, that pace would be a real asset for the North Londoners. His shot accuracy in the past 2 seasons has never dropped below 47.06% and has gone as high as 69.44%, while his shot conversion rate has hovered between 12.24 and 31.25%. On 12 occasions, he scored a brace, has successfully dispatched all 13 penalties he's taken, and has converted up to 57% of the big chances that's come his way. A player who has also clearly loves the physical side of the game too. He's rarely outmuscled in a challenge, winning the majority of his 344 aerial duels and 372 of the 707 ground duels he attempted. 139 ball recoveries, evidence that he's no slouch when it comes to defensive attributes either. And though he's only contested 32 tackles in 2 seasons, he's won 21 of them, giving him a tremendous success rate of 71%. Any deal is still a long way from being done, of course, and there will likely be a multitude of hurdles to jump before any deal can be signed off. However, it's perfectly reasonable that Spurs are interested in a player who could really make a huge difference to their front line just when they need it most. Okay, here's my thoughts on those stories today. Not tons of news around again. It's been over a month since we signed someone, I think. Come on, Spurs, tick-tock. Romero's future. No big surprise, really. Looks like this deal's going to get done. If it doesn't get done with Inter, then you'd think it was going to get done with somebody else. Rumours that the £50 million or €50 million fee has been agreed already. We just don't know. But it seems to be that Romero is going to be going out the door. That's the bottom line. We signed, obviously, defensive reinforcements anyway. We kind of knew Romero was going to go. No shock there. So it's just a case, I think, of when this happens, not if. Romero, as we know, can be a liability at times, can be a fantastic player on his day. But ultimately, I think De Zerbi would have wanted to keep him. But, I mean, he's come out and said as much. But I think if Romero moves on, there's not going to be many people really, really upset by it. And I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it? I think the defensive reinforcements we've brought in are good players. Spurs building for the future there. It's a bit of a funny one, because Romero obviously signed that new deal last summer, became club captain, and then looks like he's moving on this summer. But wish him well. It was never really. Would you class Romero as a Spurs legend? Personally, not. A very good player, 100%. But just say thank you for his services and move on. Players move on, don't they? And that's it. That's all you can say, I think, about that one. Coming on to who's going to replace him as captain, there's rumours as stated in that report that it's going to be James Maddison. I said a few weeks ago that James Maddison would probably be a perfect fit for captain. I hope he stays fit. You've got to be on the pitch, really, to be a captain, obviously. Could have been conceivably easy as been a Mickey van der Ven, who's obviously the deputy to Romero over recent months. But Maddison, for me, is the perfect fit for captain for Spurs. Maddison's got his detractors. He's got people that don't like him. But personally, I think Maddison has shown his leadership skills towards the end of the season. It was no surprise he was just sitting on the bench, almost like a cheerleader for De Zerbi towards the end of the season. And then obviously came on in the last few games and gave us a few minutes. And the game did change when Maddison came on, although he was clearly unfit and just not ready to play. He wanted to play and probably risked re-injuring himself, actually. Thankfully, he didn't. But I think Maddison's a really good choice for captain. Obviously, this has not been confirmed by the club yet at the time of recording, but I can see it happening and it makes sense to me. So let's hope if named James Maddison leads us to glory. Going to be lovely to see James Maddison picking up a trophy soon. And the last story, a really good piece this, I thought it was, talking about Victor Osimhen and what he could do for De Zerbi, his stats there that I read out. This is a player that would get me really excited if Spurs go for him. I think the personal terms, as we've read, shouldn't be an issue. Transfer fee, personally, I don't think the transfer fee would be an issue either. Turkish football, not the same as the Premier League. Transfer fees are not going to be as high. I think this player would be perfect for De Zerbi, and I really, really hope that Spurs go out and get him. There's only probably a few players from the Turkish league that you'd think could really cut it in the Premier League. Players coming in, obviously, to a new league. You always worry about foreign players coming in and being able to do the business. But I think Osimhen, I don't think you'd ever have worries about Osimhen being able to do that. I think he'd hit the ground running and he would certainly guarantee goals, which is something that we're desperate for. It's something we haven't had for the last couple of years. That dedicated number 9 who guarantees you goals. Osimhen would give you that, I think, 100%. But let's see how this one plays out. There's obviously the rumours still out there about Savinho, Marmoush and a few others. Nothing concrete. And the Osimhen one's not concrete either, let's be honest. The rumours about Gakpo, of course, we've spoken about in recent days. Is that going to get done? Liverpool say he's not for sale. Just don't know. I would still hope we get a left winger and a striker in. Is Osimhen going to be that striker? I truly hope so. That's all for me today. Get down in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling as a Tottenham Hotspur fan or anything to do with any of those stories today. And as always, come on you Spurs.